Hygiene is around. I'm not sure where I got game one from though, John, but it is getting late at night. You know, I'm getting old, John. Forgive me. Game 3 between AR and G2.iG set to get underway. Hopefully another close one for us. There's now FY and X Nova handing tips over to each other. Everyone just taking turns.
Yeah. Just you know, that sportsmanship between all of these guys. I mean, all of them were on. I'm pretty sure all of them were on like teams with each other at some point as well. I just can't keep track with the changes in China, but I'm fairly certain so. Everyone's just being nice and friendly. Gonna be interesting to see what exactly G2.iG can do. I think there's more pressure in G2.iG to actually play tempo with the Chen army, with like the early power spikes you expect from a mid Primal Beast. You will want to siege towers quickly, so you will want to try to make that collapse on mid happen a little bit faster. I do feel like if this game drags on, you are just heavily favored on Azure. You have Low who can stall with illusions. You have damage that can fly in onto Ori, and you can just focus singularly on building up there on the Lina to just burst heroes down. Threat of team fight from Bach. And it's a lot smoother going for Azure, whereas G2.iG, it has to play up-tempo. Like, you need to not necessarily crush lanes, but have a good time in lanes and then translate that into objectives very nicely here.
Yeah. Oh, Baboka and Tianming going to say hello for a moment. We'll back their way out. Of course, we can start with the mid lane, where you are going to have Ori against the Primal Beast of Nothing to Say. Obviously, we kind of already mentioned it. Ori should have at least the harass advantage here against Nothing to Say. We'll see what Nothing to Say does do about it. He'll go for a very early trample, try to clear out the creep wave early on. Does secure the range creep. But as expected, Ori should be able to get a hell of a lot of value out of this aggression against the Primal.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. Lina, again, plays from range, so you're just going to be able to control, and if you do misplay it, it is punishable, but shouldn't be something we expect from Ori here. Taking a look at that bot lane, of course, you've got Tianming on the Anch, along with Low on that Naga Siren, up against Baboka and JT on the Mirana Centaur combination. Not one we've seen all too often nowadays. In fact, Mirana in general just certainly not a hero that has popped in the meta. Does still do a lot. Again, you have straightforward setup with Hoof Stomp into Arrow. You've got Arrow into Pulverize to follow through as well down the line. It's just still not the most reliable. There's a lot of ways to body block the Arrow here on the side of Azure. And you've got the Illusions, you've got the Eidolons that can tank for you. Heck, you can have later on the Enchanted Creep tank as well. And this lane for JT, it's not going to be the worst, but it's certainly not going to be the smoothest sailing with this Chain Lightning Creep already on hand from Tianming. It is a lot of damage early on to just blast away for free.
I remember the good old days where this creep basically had double the mana. Just continue to spam Chain Lightning over and over again. Whereas now you get a couple off and you've got to wait for the mana regen. It's not anywhere near as good, but there was once upon a time it just felt like you could spam that an unlimited amount of times, and well, it took a long time for that to get nerfed. Sadly, it is nerfed now, so we won't get to enjoy that, but I think get a little bit of value out of it. Mid lane, Ori taking a bit of damage here from Nothing to Say. The trample coming in once again. Nothing to Say, still ahead in CS as well, 12-0, which is, especially in terms of the CS, the Primal Beast is going to have an inherent advantage as long as he can keep himself healthy. And NTS even pulling the creep wave away now, so just wanted to just pull it away, not deal with the Lina. Does get a water in for himself. And I think you can just stack this up on a neutral camp, right? Just stack it up on a neutral camp and just trample all of it.
Yep, could look for that efficiency play. I think that was a good read from Ori to just pull the remaining creeps as well while he was going for his own water rune. And there's really not a big farm differential here between these. He will just go for the safe pull behind tower. Nothing to say. He is concerned of the chip damage Ori can do. And again, he has the LSA value point here on Ori to just cut off the aggression as well from Nothing to Say. So he understands the game plan of that Primal Beast. Still a rather static mid. Maybe it starts to get a little bit more erratic when some of these supports can rotate. Up top, you've got Monet and Dejaro along with X-Nova on the Chen up against FY and his Tiny and Bach on that Enigma. There is kill threat here but it does take level 3 on your Tiny as well. And it's going to be... It is a little bit trickier. There is good output, and there's always the threat of Xnova making a turn on you with some good creeps. So you will have to be cautious about that. They have blocked the small camp at the least, so Xnova has no easy access to early creeps here, but does manage to get himself a small pull. They will pull it away as well, so it's a rather even thing to end up with. At the least, you're not going to be able to do as much, and this kind of lane does feel alright for the Gyro. There's no direct threat in his life. It's still maybe slightly slower, but again, you're waiting for levels here for Azure. It's more pertinent on them to soak and just try to make something happen once these spikes are up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Still no first blood being drawn here from either side. It looks like Bark's going to try and get aggressive top lane onto Monet and Xnova, but now he'll cop a homing missile from Monet. Both sides is more than happy hitting creeps in their laning phase. JT and Baboka unable to find any kind of aggression towards low at the moment as well. I mean, FY getting relatively low on the Tiny, but again, just going to be able to walk his way out. It's no real issue for him. You do have a rotation from Nothing to Say, however. Does pick up a Bounty Rune, does move towards the bottom lane, where they have already jumped Tian Ming. Tian Ming going to try for the TV play out. The onslaught, it wouldn't have made it anyway. Nothing to Say, he will just cancel it off. And a bit of a wasted rotation here from the Primal Beast, as it will amount to naught so far. However, he does move back down to the bottom lane. Gets a bit of ward down. That's it. Nothing to Say. Going to return back into the mid lane.
Yeah, nothing to say and nothing to do for him so far. Was spotted by the wards. Good coverage here from Azure, knowing that this would be the likely path for the Primal Beast to take. Also just to watch for the support rotations, which just have not come in. And you are, again, farming rather evenly right now across both sides. Actually, like, legitimately just very even. Maybe just pulling a little bit more here for JT in comparison to what you're finding on Monet, but nothing that's too painful at very least. It's all about the levels. I mean, FY's been sitting at level 3 and has been looking for an angle up top. It's just not an easy angle to find. And yeah, it's just static. You are happy again. For both of these cores to have the static time, I suppose it's maybe better for Monet, considering that Gyro's timings can be a little bit faster. The Naga certainly doesn't take too long to come online for sure, but it does feel like the Gyro's presence is felt much earlier in the game comparatively. So that is a boon here for G2.iG. Also no rotations onto the mid for Power Rune. Like, again, very different from game 1 and 2 where we saw constant rotations.
Yeah, I think between the Primal and the Lena, it's just not quite as important as it was. Baboka and JT still chilling top lane, nothing really happening there either. The Bark securing his own farm. Monet having a great old time, just clearing out so many Eidolons here on the Gyrocopter. Or even Xnova just taking some for himself with the Holy Persuasions. It's very hard for Bark to actually get much value out of these Eidolons. It just feels like they're being fed most of the time back the other way. Meanwhile, the mid lane, I mean, already has started to overtake 43 and 11 when it comes to the CS board and the Lena. Of course, that probably is due to the fact that Nothing to Say did rotate down bottom and it just amounted to nothing, in fairness to him.
Yeah, mainly down to just like 2 creep waves being missed, which isn't the biggest deal. I'm a little bit surprised Nothing to Say is just going for the BKB first, but probably understands he wants to be on the front for his team. Movement FY.
Toss in, Nothing to Say. Still going to be alright to just onslaught backwards as FY, not looking very good right now, does give first blood away. Well, they thought they had enough damage with the Laguna Blade coming in from the Lena, but it was not quite. And so of all people, the Primal does get the first blood bonus.
Yeah, get a little bit impatient to get that move out. 8-minute rune is spawning here as well, so at the least Tian Ming is in position to try to secure this for Ori down bot. He will snatch away the invis, but won't save him from this.
Absolutely not. Tian Ming handing another kill the way of NTS, and I'll tell you, like the way they have the Primal Beast kind of suffering in the net worth department, it felt as though you wouldn't want to give him 2 kills like this, but now nothing to say, top of the net worth board. And Ori is probably not very happy about that, considering he won the mid lane.
That he wouldn't be. This is going to lead to that faster timing. Fine.
Oh, he's alright. Go on, John.
Just a bit of a cheeky chase. The BKB timing for nothing to say is going to line up. Again, that initial burst you're looking for might not be enough. They do get the jump onto JT. So FY finds a rotation that works out with JT left alone down bot. They take advantage low. Gonna be happy to get some additional farm flowing into the Naga. Is working up towards that Manta style. So the illusion spam will kick in and his farm pace will kick up once he sends his illusions across into the jungle as well. Rather even game state, 1-2 is better though, and they invade the jungle. Bach.
Yeah, poor old Bach does at least block the arrow with the Eidolons. Goes for the black hole. Has found 2 of them. Ori is rotating in for a light strike array, and now nothing to say. He may have got a little bit too greedy, but no, he backs his way out. He will barely survive thanks to the stampede, but FY, oh, the toss! Oh, he barely has enough with the Eidolons coming in. Ori, though, Ori, oh, so close to falling. Not quite, though. Ori's alright. Oh, and they even found the Mirana, but Boca to go down. Bark picks up a double kill from the grave, thanks to FY just setting up 2 kills for him.
Yeah, it manages to pan out. It looked a little bit dicey when he couldn't get that kill. On to nothing to say. Manages to run out just because of the divine favor from the presence of Xnova. Still, they clean up the big kill they want. They stop that contention in the triangle. They're going to be able to get some smooth flowing farm. Vlad's up for back. Going to feel nice to just sustain true on the Eidolons. Get a little bit of push going as well in a free lane for the Enigma. Very important activity for Ori to survive through as well. Travels up on the Lina now. Going for that Gleipnir build-up that we tend to see. No intermediary item like the Falcon Blade. So maybe a little bit tougher to sustain true. The spell spam. Certainly no mana regen on hand to feel good here for that Lina. But will want to take activity on the map. Bot lane being shoved in by the side of G2.iG. They don't have the black hole team fight, so you're not going to be able to look for a clean contest. Just going to have to stall out as best as you can with Chanming, but you're not going to stop this.
No, you absolutely are not. T1 bottom tower will go down. Well, they're having a really good time farming though on the Naga Siren. Really starting to take off now. Not much in the way of slowing him down. It's just going to have a very free game by the looks of it. However, nothing to say. Has not seen him yet. Will do so now, but I don't think they realize that the actual Naga might be there. Or perhaps they just don't believe they have the damage for him. They'll leave him alone. Instead, they'll find Tianming. But no! They won't go for him either.
Very cautious. They had the sentry down here at the least on Azure. It is taken out by G2.iG. They did have information, but I'm surprised. Again, cautious play from G2.iG. Gives the room for that mid-siege from Bach, just with the Eidolons, to clear out the tier 1. So they do manage to get some advantages here on the side of Azure because of that stall out. Opening the map a little bit more. It's not really something they can use just yet with the side lane tower standing. And again, considering how this draft is made on the side of, well, on the side of Azure more than the side of G2.iG, but even G2.iG as well. It's about farm. It's about build up. Bach is working on a faster blink this game though. We'll see if that move pays off. Does want to get active for the team, which we don't see too often on Enigmas. It tends to be more aura build-up into a blink as third item pickup almost. So I'm excited to see this from Bach. Just wants to take that activity for the team.
I mean, why the hell not? He'll almost have it too. Farm going pretty well here for the Enigma after that pretty sad laning stage for himself. Manet's almost got his ags up now on the gyrocopter, so his farm is set to escalate rather soon. Looking towards the T1 top tower, but more so just looking to clear out the Eidolons. Doesn't really care so much about the tier 1. Rotations are coming in as well from Azure, just in case he does want to push it in. In fact, X-Nova does bring the army in, so perhaps they were thinking about the tier 1. FY going to stun up all the creeps and does take 2 with him. G2.iG, seeing that many heroes, does not want to stick around. They look like they're just going to leave the area. Both sides are probably just back to the farm.
Very patient. I think both sides understand how much is on the line with this advantage game in the best of 5. Don't want to take unnecessary risks. Just play it safe. Smoke out now from G2.iG. Perhaps this time the rotation can pan out with the blink on JT. They've got the initiation and the follow-up to Baboka in the back.
Oh, Ori getting caught. JT and Baboka, perfect arrows set up to FY with a nice double avalanche. Will try to set up for some form of a trade. Buck is here with the blink black hole as well. There's nothing to say. He's going to get caught out. Hand of God will keep him alive though. Nothing to say. We'll make it through. So they do jump in. JT with the stun out onto Tian Ming now. Meanwhile, FY still trying to retreat. We'll make it for now though. Nothing to say. Back in on Tian Ming. We'll get the Enchantress. So the blink black hole. I'm going to screw that up again. Is it only caught 1. Doesn't do anywhere near enough.
Yeah. It's a rough go. Again, they're playing with this long-range combo really well. They're still chasing for more.
Oh, another nice arrow here from Baboka. Gonna find FY. But boy, oh boy, I mean, Azure forcing a big fight in that mid lane, but it does cost them heavily, and they still lose the tier 1 mid.
It opens up the map in a big way for G2.iG because they already took that bot tier 1 as well. So invasion of the bot jungle is a lot simpler for G2.iG. Again, they're playing off the back of this long-range initiation. Just blink into arrow. More than enough control for that single target pick-off side of Azure. They still need farm. I mean, Low is still doing a fantastic job of just using these illusions around the map. Does have the value point in Song if danger comes.
Oh, I mean, he was going to pop the Song, saying nothing to say. Doesn't do so yet. Onslaught will connect. Low. No, he never gets a chance. JT in with the hoof stomp does get enough damage out, and X-Nova does take the kill. So now Low going down. That's a big deal here for Azure. Azure playing a very slow game with their own draft, but I mean, so far, not really panning out for them. You're at the stage where Monet is catching up in terms of farm or mid lane. Maybe they could get nothing to say, but he just onslaughts out.
Yeah, a little bit optimistic for Chan Ming to make that move on his own. 3-7 now, G2.iG coming out on top with all these pickoffs, getting that great isolation onto Low. For Azure, again, this draft, it needs some time. Like, you've been ready on Ori with the travels. He's just not had anywhere to play. You can play with basically just the Tiny. Even then, it's awkward with no other core to connect to. Like Bach, and just focusing on like utility with a black hole. Moonlight here.
Speaking of Bach,
Yikes.
caught out by the arrow. Cannot survive it. Will go down. FY being chased here by Monet and JT, and they're going to find him too. The Tiny. Caught out. FY will go down to JT and Monet. And that tier 1 top tower, it is just going to melt.
That's such a sneaky ward coming out there from G2.iG right by that cliff area. Just giving all the reach, all the vision they need to get that kind of jump. And now with a creep army ready, they can just go into Roshan. And again, Low is just farming across the map. But it's only him. Like, look at the net worth difference with Bach in particular. Just lagging behind. Only 800 gold above a Chen at this point. And Roche just does not take too long. Like, there's no contest here. And you could try with Bach, but with the tier 1 gone, making your way into that objective just takes way too long. So a freebie coming out here from Monet.
Maybe they can get the Primal though. FY, no toss back. Just tosses up the Primal Beast, not looking to go for the big attempt. Now they'll realize they probably could have, because the Roshan was being taken here by G2.iG. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they are going to throw a black hole out. They found a Centaur. JT will go down, and Azure not messing around whatsoever. They'll take what they get.
You take what you can get, but you're going to be down this big team fight tool from Bach again for more than 2 minutes, 2 minutes 40 here. So it's openings for G2.iG where with the Aegis, they could start to think about some of these tier 2s. They could think about the team fight. You've got the BKB still at full charge here for nothing to say. Going back for that Veil into the Shivas now. G2.iG have pretty much everything you could ask for this kind of start. Solar Crest on X Nova. They will find Baboka at the very least. So Low does manage to snipe one. But that's not going to stall out this position. Like, Monet is just rushing through that tier 2 bot.
I mean, he certainly is. A lot of confidence here from Monet. X-Nova behind him with all the creeps. We'll shove them in. FY going to try and clear them out. Does do a good job of it. So they're not going to fully commit for the tier 2 bottom tower anyway. They get the glyph forced out and that'll be about enough for now. So now an Orchid available on low. Could give him the opportunity to try and get a little bit more involved with his team if he so wishes. There's going to be a Moonlight Shadow popped here from G2.iG. Question is, where are they going? Top lane is where they'll head. They'll barely miss out on Low on the Naga. He's just farming that northern side of the jungle. Instead, it looks like they're going to have to settle for Tianming, who is showing on the top creep wave. Easiest target they could secure. Not exactly what they want, but they'll take.
Yeah, just cleaning up the pickoffs. Some good space for Azure to farm elsewhere. Get that much needed build-up they want. And it gives him a chance to clump up bot, seeing that rotation top, so could try for something here. Black Hole still not quite off cooldown, still 50 seconds away. Monet is pretty far forward for this kind of position.
Ori, Light Strike Array out onto X-Nova. X-Nova immediately gone, but Monet is still going to try onto the Lina. Problem is Low and FY have joined in now. Monet, he is going to lose the Aegis. They'll pop the Stampede, trying to get towards their Gyrocopter. They'll miss out on Ori, though. Ori able to escape the grasp of JT. There's nothing to say, still trying to chase Low through the song. Low, I mean, he'll get stunned by a homing missile, but no, not even. He'll just duke it out with the mirror image. G2.iG unwilling to dive the tier 2 bottom tower. We'll have to see them just walk away here on Azure.
That's again a great read from Azure. Seeing the Ench get committed like that up top, knowing that they've got the opening to make something happen bot. Not enough to stop G2.iG fully, as they will still commit here.
They will. Oh, FY is surely going to die, but actually, oh, that's a cheeky juke spot, but GT will find him. He's got him. FY will buy a little bit of space on his way out, but he is certainly just going down. Nothing to say to pick up the kill for himself now. And let's back onto the bottom tier 2 tower. Even with that ugly team fight they had earlier, doesn't really matter too much. Bottom tier 2 going down. No defense to come for Azure.
No, they've done what they can on Azure. No, they were forced to use Song, so you do lack that defensive tool. And they take Aegis, so at least the high ground's not a distinct possibility just yet for G2.iG, but they will go for the smoke play out.
Oh, JT,
Ori?
He spotted Ori there for a second. Ori, he gets hit by the arrow and nothing to say with the onslaught. Is going to catch him. Ori, he was just trying to chase down the Mirana to secure something for himself, but well, now the mid tier 2 tower is going to open up here for G2.iG.
Just with the pickoffs. It's not a feasible defense without the damage of the Lina. The way this draft works, you do need that Lina to come in to provide that right click. The Naga with all the farm is there, but it doesn't hit hard enough. So even with the Black Hole ready, you're just not able to make a move low. Doing what he can to shove out these lanes with the illusions. We'll find a tier 2 in exchange. So the space does amount to a little bit of map control as well. But still, not enough to compensate. 2k lead still standing for G2.iG. Rather interesting build from Low to go for the Eternal Shroud as well on the Naga. Just not want to get bursted up front, which just puts so much pressure on Ori to really be the damage dealer, to be the actual carry from mid. Arlena is supposed starting to reach that point with the Gleipnir into the BKB. Need some more damage to really pour up. There's so many tanky heroes on the side of G2.iG, and just sustain. Just with the Chen, it doesn't feel like the Lina can 100-0 someone fast enough. They go through the gate though.
Ooh, bottom lane. Low. They spot him. JT. He'll get the hoof stop.
Boy.
The Naga. She has a chance to pop the... No, she doesn't even have it. 5 seconds away for the song. Oh no, he needs a little bit more time, but no. Oh, that's unfortunate. He was 5 seconds away as they jumped him. He literally got it right as he died.
Yeah, the timing just too good. G2.iG getting a really nice rotation through the gate and provides themselves with some shove onto the high ground. Like, if they do commit, that forces a buyback from low. Would rather not, of course. Still in position here, G2.iG. Did pop some big spells, but it's not the longest cooldown on Pulverize at the least. Can try. FY with a blink will want to set something up here.
Absolutely, looking for a toss target, but it can be a little bit challenging. As you can see, X-Nova, he just keeps all his creeps right around Monet. So FY basically has the impossible toss every single time they go high ground. As long as X-Nova keeps that up, it's practically impossible to get the actual toss off onto the gyrocopter. Still, it seems like they are going to retreat. So just a bit of damage gets the Glyph forced out, that's going to be enough.
And they've got time to wait out for this next rush as well. On G2.iG, Azure have their full complement up. The one strand of Azure is high ground defense. With Song, with Black Hole, with Lina and her AoE spells, it is a nice tight spot, nice tight corridor for you to start to get work done on Azure's end, BKB done on Bach as well. So he's going to be able to just get free channels. Again, there's no worry here. Like, the only thing you have to pierce is Pulverize, which, running up to Enigma Black Hole to Pulverize doesn't sound too feasible. And you've got the BKB on Monet, so very well protected for G2.iG. Azure with a smoke, trying to wrap around somewhere. Don't really have that forward vision in the top jungle, but are looking for people who want to repair the lane. Could be some good punish here from Azure. If they find a kill into a quick Roche spawn, that opens up the game for themselves.
Oh, Roshan's still 20 seconds till it may respawn. G2.iG just grouped up around that top tier 3 tower. Big group up again here from G2.iG. Looks like they're ready for their smoke towards the pit to boot. Roshan is a decent timer, only 1 minute. Not long at all. Long enough for one team fight before the Roshan does respawn. Moonlight Shadow popped.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, you'd love to get low first if you could. Bark is ready with the BKB Black Hole as well, don't forget. They'll TP one out. It's going to be Ori going for the amp damage rune. So Ori going to find a very nice rune for himself right before the Roshan fight does begin. Smoke out from Azure. FY to initiate with a toss back. We'll see nothing to say and we'll make the jump in immediately. He wants that primal. They'll toss him up. Laguna Blade committed. Nothing to say. Will still survive. In fact, he'll go back in onto that tiny. And that is FY down. Low is being chased, but he'll get the song off. Still, Monet has popped his BKB, so can go for the chase onto the Naga. But does not really want to do it alone. In fact, oh, Low. He got stunned up there for a moment. But he's alright. They will not chase any further. They'll take the FY kill. Roshan is now officially up. But I don't think with just a tiny kill they can really start.
No. It's a little bit awkward. There is still the Black Hole ready here on Bach. He's been really patient with that spell usage. So you still have that going for yourself here. They at least clear out the Eidolon scouting forward. G2.iG are still ready for another fight. Just want another pick-off before fully committing. And it's the threat of Black Hole. Bach's just going to be able to hold him back for a while, but they will eventually commit. This is prime opportunity for that BKB reveal for Bach, though.
That it is. Roshan already half HP. Say will be spotted. FY with the toss back again to the primal. JT jumping in, but he does cop the avalanche, and now the Black Hole catching out too. JT, he's still alive. Oh, he's barely gonna make it.
Oh my
Nothing to say has brought back into this. Meanwhile, FY jumping back in, but JT blinks out, avoiding the avalanche, still surviving. Is nothing to say. Back on FY, has found the Tiny once again. They do hold him down, though. Nothing to say with the Gleipnir being locked down for a little bit. G2.iG, do they want to fight or not? They're just dancing around right now. Not really committing to the fight altogether. Seems like they will retreat. Again, only supports go down. There was a buyback from Nothing to Say in all of this, but Roshan still really just can't be touched.
No. And they'll both still camp here, but it's now a lot harder for Azure without that black hole ready on Bach. And with FY still respawning. The window is small, but the respawn is short as well. Let's see how hard they commit on G2.iG. Azure, they have backed off.
Interesting.
It's just the fact that you lack the black hole, and FY didn't want to buy back, so no TP point close by with a tier 1 tower gone. No time. Might as well go farm elsewhere, start to set up. Does pay off for G2.iG in the end. Secondary life for Monet, he's got the full Mjolnir up, so his output on the gyrocopter is starting to skyrocket into the Daedalus next. Azure, and they've got some good damage on low. It's got the Disperser and the Orchid. Can try to rip them to shreds. It's just, it hasn't felt like the Naga's been the most effective. Outside of the split push and the laning pressure, it hasn't really been able to leverage too much damage out here. Snagged themselves a Wisdom and the Tormentor as well. G2.iG, a buffet of objectives for them to come in. And tier 2 tower, gonna be going. Azure, it's a matter of waiting. You do need that black hole ready. I like that Bach is just going for the Ags, so that gravitational pull is really, really useful. I honestly miss when that was the Shard. I mean, it's probably too strong as the Shard, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Was very nice. We'll see once he does have that up and available. I mean, it's getting to a stage here in this game when you do feel like you need that extra kind of control and damage. So, Azure, I mean, the team fights have still been very close, but G2.iG have still been able to edge out pretty much every single one. This gyrocopter is getting absolutely massive as well. Like, the crystals up, going into the Daedalus now. Looking towards the Satanic straight after that. I mean, Ori's trying to get to a stage where he has as much farm, but the Lina is just lagging a little bit behind, and it just never feels safe for Ori either. There's just so much jump between the Primal Beast and JT. Always looking for that Lina every single team fight. Makes it very hard to actually be able to just stand there and get those right clicks off.
I feel like the bigger issue is actually just the sustain on G2.iG. Even if they manage to get the jump, just Hand of God, a pipe coming through, and it's a lot of your initial burst gone from Azure. And you need to play with that burst. Like, that's pretty much your entire lineup. Like, FY with a toss back into burst play is what you're gunning for. A prolonged fight does not necessarily favor Azure. And if your Naga can weave in and out, sure, with the illusions dancing around, but you've got the clear ready with Monet, with that Mjolnir. So even that kind of stalled out fight just doesn't pan out as well for Azure. They need to jump the back. Like, they actually have to stop this Chen, take away the aura, take away one of those Solar Crest usages, take away the healing with the Hand of God, and you simplify the game for the side of Azure, for Ori for the burst, but it's a lot of pressure on FY. He's the only one that can kind of set up for that, and even then, X-Nova sits so far back that you're likely just not finding that Chen before finding anything else.
Oh, FY. Looks like he was quickly Midasing one of the creeps here from X-Nova. They're not going to commit for the high ground. Instead, it looks like they have to defend the top lane because it is being forced in here by Low. Low's actually been getting a lot of damage off from this tier 3 tower. He's just consistently pushed it out with the illusions. JT will make his appearance, does get rid of it. Just more and more time being bought here for the Radiant end though, thanks to Low. It's going to be a two-man smoke being committed here from Azure through the bottom lane, but doesn't really seem like they're too interested in a fight. Seems like they'll just relocate to that side of the map, get some farm going, but now G2.iG,
Tower are scared.
they draw a line directly towards them with their own smoke. Going low. He's going to break the smoke. They'll know the real one's there. They've not jumped the right one, though, but low, he will get used up now. Monet preemptively popping the BKB. Oh, and they've got the Naga.
Oh, boy.
Low is down.
That's the big stall factor for Azure taken out. It's his split push that's keeping them so protected on Azure, giving them that reach outside of their high ground here. Without that, and this Aegis can finally get to use. It's not the longest respawn in the world, mind you, and the Aegis is set to expire for Monet, so chances are you actually aren't going to be using this Aegis for any more. But you're, again, cutting off that space for Azure. They're stuck in the high ground now. They do shine in the high ground. Again, Black Hole is a threat. The tossbacks in the high ground is easier for FY to find that back line. And so G2IG will just have to go back and just wait. Wait for farm. Wait for next Roshan. I mean, as it goes on, you know, this Gyrocopter's damage, again, it skyrocketed. With the Daedalus up, Satanic with the side gunner means he's so hard to burst. Already is just with the Chen, but that makes matters even worse here for the side of Azure. For Azure, it's more time to finally get damage on Ori. Well, Daedalus only 300 gold away. So the Lina can kick into gear. Mind you, the jump potential of G2IG is strong. But if they don't jump the Lina and Ori finds a good position in these engagements, then it's his moment to shine, right? Like, he's got the Nemesis Curse, which with really good amplification, with the big fat crits from his range. It can line up, so it's going to boil down to who can get that jump, right? Like, if Azure can take out the Chen to remove some durability, it becomes massively easier for Azure to take care of the issues such as Nothing to Say or JT. For G2IG, they've been doing much better in the isolation. Like, they're cutting off low, they're making it awkward for Ori, and they're not giving Bach these big black hole opportunities. He's finding two-mans and stuff, but there's still enough sustain on G2IG to not care. That's the big issue. Like, there is a massive threat in Bach, but you just press R as well in X Nova and counteracts a lot of that burst.
Oh, that it certainly has. Moonlight Shadow popped again. It's not looking like it's going to amount to too much. Just in case Azure were around this area, they will go into the invis for now, but won't really amount to too much. They'll just get some wards down here, G2IG. Another amp damage rune being spotted at this top rune spot. Well, not spotted by either side, but spotted by us at least. It's like FY might find it. Or he was right behind him, but he'll take it for himself. Screw
You don't want to risk it. Yeah, you don't want to risk it, right? Like, what if someone's camping nearby? What if it's a bait? Amp-like damage is a juicy little thing. I don't think they're looking to fight anyway on Azure, so it doesn't quite matter. Just go back, build up. Daedalus done on Ori. Into that Silver Edge for some more break. Some ways of managing that durability on the side of G2IG. G2IG, for their part, have the control on that top Roche pit. We'll go through the gate for now, though. Try to look for a pick-off. They could intercept onto FY here.
No, FY's fine. He's looking at that creep wave once again. He might think about going for it. So 8 to 16, 12k advantage for G2IG. FY gonna leave the area, does go back towards the fountain. Roshan is up in 5 seconds, so that is obviously going to be the next objective for both sides. Is an early one. Does respawn on the dire end of things, and well, G2IG, they come at the perfect moment. So is Azure, though. They are around the area. They'll get their wards down as well. It is now scouted by Azure.
it gets a little bit scary for G2IG. With the
He
ads
always found low. He has found low on the Naga, but a nice 4-star away, going to avoid the arrow from Baboka. They did not have the follow-up here from JT's initiation. Had that arrow landed, it could have been a very different initiation, though. Quick 4-stars, quick thinking here from Azure to keep their Naga safe. FY, thinking about JT, we'll get the toss off. The Centaur has been caught out. JT, they were a pretty tanky target, but not quite tanky enough. JT dropping quite low, has somehow still alive. They'll heal him up. JT will make it out again. FY, the one in danger, looking like he'll go down. Well, JT, he was one hit away from dying. There's going to be a big song out low. Oh, he's caught out 5 of them into a black hole. Bark. He's going to set up for the easiest black hole of his life. 4-man black hole. But is it going to matter? Monet's on the run. Low will follow him down. They've got the gyrocopter. Still Tianming will drop. Nothing to say. Continuing to go on to low. In fact, it's still not going to work out. Even with the 4-man black hole. Azure, they're the ones being chased down. Low running with the disperser. Baboka on the chase. They are going to find the Naga Siren. Nothing to say with the onslaught. Does connect, and Low, he is as good as gone.
Oh my god. Oh, these fights are just crazy. It finally springs out on Roche. And that's what we've been waiting for all game with his Ags coming out from Bach. It's just the follow-through's not there. And you blow your entire complement just on JT with that tossback. I'll try again to stall, but this is what we've been saying this entire game. With the Chen on hand, with Hand of God, with the pipe, even with the full AC, like, there's no easy target to burst. Even if JT's far away, Hand of God alone just mitigates so much. The burst on Ori is just not there. It's you need to find better targets, but they have to take what they can get as well, because no one's showing up.
Top Racks now is down, or at least the melee barracks are down. Buyback was committed by Low, but it means nothing. It does not stop the push. And Roshan's still up. They'll go back for the Roshan now. Scan is out from Azure. They will see G2IG moving down towards the south, but it's not really going to matter too much if they can't get there in time.
No. It should be a really fast rush with the damage on Monet and with that Penitence as well. Doesn't take too long to right-click. And they will make their way down, but you don't have Black Hole for 40 seconds. That's your ace in the hole. You could walk with a Song Steal, but the follow-through is what I'm worried about here for Azure.
It is too late. Thankfully for Azure, they are able to walk out of there without having to sacrifice any heroes.
Trying to think, what can you do now in Azure? Because it feels impossible jumping X-Nova, right? Like, he's so far back when JT's so far forward. So the heal always flies through. Maybe you get some healing mitigation out. I mean, that's Alina with a Daedalus already. It still can't melt that scent. Perhaps your... I don't know, the Ags could be nice as well down the line, but you're prioritizing more on Ori, just trying to get that Silver Edge done. The break could help, taking away Retaliate. It's a tough game for the side of Azure. They've backed themselves in a corner where their Lina, that's supposed to be this big damage dealer, just isn't. No one's dying. Your Naga, which is disruptive, but to what extent? Like, she's split pushing. They do manage to find some towers because of that, but you're not going to knock high ground off the back of that. It's G2IG with every single tool they need to just counteract any play that Azure are doing. I guess for Azure, if they plant some forward wards and somehow sneak their way onto the Chen and afterwards save that burst for bigger targets like, say, the Gyrocopter up front before you can pop Satanic, that could be one way, but it's a very specific angle that, again, you just can't find with how G2IG are positioning here.
Mid lane G2IG will reveal their position, nothing to say. Clear out the creep wave. Mane will do the same for the bottom lane, just getting rid of all these Naga illusions. Oh, Lowe's going to show up in the mid for a moment, but they will not be able to catch him out. He'll just send the illusions in once again. They have got a lot of this split push coming in. We've seen Lowe doing this multiple games now. I have Skadi now up on the Naga Siren, just on the way with the courier. G2.iG, they've got a bottom creep wave coming in. This will be the lane they'll go through for the attempt at the racks. Lowe, in the meantime, he's just going to push out the top wave. We literally saw this on his Luna earlier. Just does not want to be there, wants to force them back. Does come back now. We'll see if G2.iG do decide to TP top and defend. Nothing to say in the meantime. He's going to jump in with the shivers, but won't see anyone to pick up. They'll get rid of the tier 3 tower to start. JT also with the blink in. Won't find a target either. Rock throw will land onto Ori, but no follow-up to that. And so far, it's looking like a very free racks here for G2.iG because there's just no jump in. I love the way Xnova just keeps the creeps around Mane to ensure FY cannot go for an easy toss back onto the gyrocopter. And it really does work, because FY, he's really the only chance you have of finding a good start to the fight. He'll go for an avalanche in, though he will not get away with it, because Xnova does stun him up. But it won't matter, he is fine, he'll get 4-staffed out. Gets stunned up by the homing missile. In goes JT with the jump in. They've got the tiny FY. Still trying to walk out of this. Is not going to make it. He is down without buyback. It's a 5v4 now. Age is still up for 1 minute and 10 here for Mane. Without the tiny, it really is so challenging to defend this mid-racks. I'm going to say, frightening them with the Shivers Guard blink in. Now Lowe gets caught out by JT though. JT forced to pop the Stampede and run. Will hold the Naga down for a little bit. Meanwhile, Ori with a double light strike array. Bark not choosing to pop the BKB yet. Nothing to say. Forced to cheese up to heal up through this. Meanwhile, Mane looking to perhaps move in. Does still have the Aegis, so will end up losing it. Has the BKB ready to go whenever, but Boka in the meantime misses out on Ori. In goes nothing to say, another black hole. Bark, he's got 2 of them, but where's the follow-up damage? Mane's healing up through all of it. He's not going down.
Oh, goodness.
Azure Ray, they threw everything but the kitchen sink, but Mane just pops everything else and he heals up through it. In fact, he didn't even pop his Satanic. He still had the Satanic.
He had a second Satanic use. He ate the refresh
to
get that done for himself. So, they find a Megas, and they call the GG. Azure Ray, they know the timing's over. They had an interesting idea in the draft. They had this really good setup for the Black Hole, and Bach did opt for a more active build on that Enigma here as well, going for a fast blink, which we don't normally see on the Enigmas nowadays. But G2.iG this time with a pacing and with a sustain. Like, they had 2 frontline tanks.